Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. This is my June game chat, and because my birthday's in June, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to talk about me a little bit and the history of the channel, because you might wonder, how does one end up having a board game YouTube channel? And the answer is, I did not plan on this by any means. When my oldest son just turned 3, and he's 11 now, so 8 years ago, I started asking friends. I knew that was about the age that most people started playing games with their kids, and I knew there were a lot more options than when I had been a kid and played as many games as I could, but there just weren't as many available. So I said, okay, people, what games do you play with your kids? Let me know. I'm excited to play games. And I was told Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, and a few people mentioned like the Sneaky Snacky Squirrel, which is a newer game for preschoolers. And I said, really? That's it? And so I checked out like parenting.com would have articles about different games you could play as a family or with kids. And they would have a top 10 list, and it would be games, 9 out of the 10 games would be for ages 8 and up, and maybe 1 would be for ages 4 plus or ages 6 plus, which just really wasn't useful. And again, I'd walked down the Target board game aisle and I knew there was a lot more out there. And at the same time, my husband and I had small children, and a big part of our dating history was we liked to play games together. I taught him how to play cribbage and gin rummy. He taught me how to play Monopoly Deal, and we both liked playing Settlers of Catan and Small World together, and just kind of games along those lines, but not very many. We didn't know about all of the different options out there. I was also really into Killer Bunnies for a while. Super into Killer Bunnies. And I still have a lot of the sets and the expansions for that. So then we had small children, and in the evenings, we were lucky if we got to get a game or two of cribbage in, because we were tired and it was late and there just wasn't the time to sit down and play some of the longer games. So at the same time, I thought, gosh, there have to be other options to this. And so I'd look at board game websites, and people would talk about just these really big, hard-hitting, wonderful-looking games, but I didn't have the time of them. So I talked it over mostly with my husband, and we said, well, what if I started a website for games that could be played in 20 minutes or less for all ages? And I'm pretty proud that that has still worked so well. I'll do some games that run a little bit longer than that from here or there, but the general focus is these 20-minute games that work for everyone. You can fit in a 20-minute game, and that's a lot of the appeal of it. So I started to put together a website. After it'd been a few years, we'd kind of pulled together some games just from looking around online, going and shopping at the Target board game area. And we'd pulled together an assortment, and I launched my website in fall of 2018 with 60 board games on there. And I was so proud, and I'd worked so hard. And now I have over 400 board games, and I think I have over 300 how to play videos for board games on my channel, I think. So just a little beyond that now. But 60 at the time felt huge. And it was going okay, but I talked to a friend who really loved board games, and she said, people mostly look at the YouTube videos for board games. And I said, I am never filming a video of myself and posting it onto like public YouTube. No, thank you. Well, we thought about it, and I watched some of the board game YouTube videos, and I thought, oh yeah, I could do that. And so we tried it. I'm very fortunate that my parents dabbled in some wedding videography back in the day and have some really nice cameras. And so we were able to make use of the cameras, although I think the first few videos we just did on my iPhone, we just mounted, and my husband helped. And you can look and see if you watch any of the older videos, how uncomfortable I am in front of the camera. I just wanted it to be about the game, and I'm kind of turned sideways for some of them because being big on YouTube has never been the goal. So we did that, and the videos went over so much better than anything I'd ever put on the website. And then I started to enjoy it as I got more comfortable and got used to it. And so it's kind of here and there, and now I've settled into a routine for how often I post the videos, and I have top 10s, top 5s, these game chats, and I've changed how I do my how to play videos to have a little bit of a review at the end, because a lot of times I hesitate to say that a game is really good or a game is really bad, because really it's just finding the right audience for the game or the right circumstances in which to play the game. Where a game where you're like, oh, this is really boring and I don't, why would anybody play Headbands? It's basically just 20 questions. Well, with a certain audience, it's just easy and nice and works really well. So that's when you would play it. So it's going well. This is something above a hobby for me and somewhat lower than a job. I'm not doing this full time, but it's at a nice level where I just am enjoying myself thoroughly. I really like everything that I'm doing. I started doing the videos, gosh, it's been 3 years. It was right before COVID hit that I started filming, and then board games kind of took off during COVID too, it seems. So timing kind of worked out to really do this, and I'm enjoying myself thoroughly. One of the things that has gone way better than I anticipated is just how kind and welcoming the board game community is as a whole. I thought, oh, I'm doing kind of easier games than a lot of these more hardcore board game groups do. Are they going to be kind, or are they going to just say, oh, this little game that you're talking about? And everyone has been very welcoming, and that's been very nice. It is a very wonderful community to be involved with. So I feel very fortunate that this is the thing that I'm really excited about, and it's been wonderful for my family. I spend a lot of time doing this, but I spend a lot of time doing this with family, friends, loved ones. So it's been a big benefit, and we talk all the time. Gosh, if I hadn't been doing the channel, we never would have played this game with our kids or with my parents, and they wouldn't have played it with their friends. So it's been very positive. I'm very happy about what I've been able to do, and I'm very excited about what I'm going to get to do in the future. We have been playing some new fancy games this past month. The first is, I'm still finishing up working on my top 10 dragon board game list, and this is totally going on it. Draconic Dice is this easy, pure luck, well, mostly luck game where you're just rolling dice and trying to be the first to get rid of all of your dice. But it has a lot of fun different actions that can happen. Depending on what you roll, you can roll an injured knight and you just get to discard a dice. But if you roll a dragon, you get to give your die to someone else, and then they have more dice they have to get rid of. There's fire, that if you roll that, then it just goes into this, like the pot of dice in the middle. And if somebody doesn't roll a fire on their roll, then they get all of those dice. And then there's a blank side to the die where just nothing happens. But it's really simple, really fast. And we've played this with my husband, and I have played this together. We've played it with our sons. We've also played it with some extended family that really don't play mini games at all. And they did okay because my son was able to just tell them what to do. And I'm planning to bring this to the pool a bunch this summer. So super happy about this one. 10, I've heard good things about, and we finally played it. I think it's pretty new still. And it is a push your luck game, but with some strategy and choices, and you're laying cards out. You're trying to collect the most cards in sequence of different colors by the end of the game. And when you flip over cards, you put them out into the middle, and if the value goes over 10, you go bust. But then it's still not, there's like money chips involved where you can buy things back from the market, but there's also some wild cards that go up for auction that people get to pay for. So there's just enough fun, interesting things going on that it's a push your luck plus enough strategy where I'm just really happy and excited to play this with my husband and my oldest son on repeat. These are both from the same game company, Libelud. I think I'm saying their name right. Dixit is not brand new. It's pretty popular, and we just finally started to play it, and it's so easy. It is essentially like apples to apples, but with pictures, and you get to pick your own prompt. So you say, okay, I'm playing out a card. I think this is sunny. I'm putting out a card that's sunny. And then other people pick cards that they think are also sunny. And so there's a whole thing about how you get points if people guess your card or if people guess other cards. So it seems like it's like apples to apples, but just up a little bit with a little bit more going on and more choice by the people playing. And it's really good. The only problem is you kind of burn through all the cards. So there's a lot of expansion decks that are out there available to get if you need more picture cards, or you can just buy more games from the same game company because they seem to specialize in a lot of games with picture cards. We have One Key over here is one of their games, and it has a bunch of specialty picture cards that you could totally use for Dixit. And Mysterium Park we just got and played, and it is a bunch of picture cards. So you could get expansions or just get more games. You need more games. Mysterium Park is kind of a cooperative whodunit. You're trying to figure out the director of this park was like mysteriously disappeared years ago, and you're trying to solve the mystery together. And there's a ghost that gives clues through pictures to the people who are the psychics, and they have to use the picture cards to figure out like what person they're trying to have them guess. And then they have to use them to pick which location. So it's very simple. There's the main game they made before this was called Mysterium. And I haven't played Mysterium. It's much longer. It's a little bit longer than my 20-minute limit. And but what I've read is that people who've played Mysterium, they like it, but this is like kind of the same fun of the game in a more streamlined approach. So I like that. That's a lot of what I like about some of these smaller box games. So it's fun. It's hard. It is difficult. We have a 50% win rate right now because it is tricky to give good clues. So it says 10 and up on the box. Yes, 100%, especially for the person giving clues. If you have the cute 8-year-old giving clues, it's difficult to do it well. But that said, it's cooperative, it's fun, it's a good theme, it's a great whodunit, and we are loving it. So that's it for my June game chat. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time from Game Like a Mother.